tu hoi mo kai nga malo mo ta mo kong kong ni pe malo ala mai ki he fe unu ko la tonga pe me Los Angeles ko le tu mo tolu mo share te tau pola kalama ta ma hi ngongo ke o atu he ahoni tau te fito ki he lea ko ia ai Palestinio Americani I Polani ke o atu ai pe mo e ku lau a aku ko tu ko to la hi mo tolu te mo o vare I he mea ko ni te o atu. Ko ia mo tune in pe mo kau mai he tau pola kalama share atu. Ai tau pola kalama ki ho mo family kau nga maheni. Ka kau mo fia ilo ki he mo oni o e o ngongo ko ia o ku o atu. Fe kau aki pe mo ngahi mea o ku hoko ta ke fito ki Ukraine. Pe pe he foki ki he lea ko ia ai Palestini o Amerikani. Ia malo ta mai kong ini pe ko te mo to ke mo share ta pola kalama ke o atu ai o ngong fo mi mui ta ha pe fo ki he attack ki fo mi mui ko ia e Lucia a Polani pe te talatu pe mo uhinga aku ki ai pe he ki he lea ko ia Joe Biden Palestino Amerikani pe te o atu mo ku lau aku ko tui to lahi te mo tolu te mo hovare I he ngai mea ko ni te o atu. Kore atu mo share te tau pola kalama. Ke kau mai e nau tolu nau fia kau mai ki he pola kalama ko ne feu ko la tonga ki ta msi me heni o ku tau kamata mana winga ko hoa pe ua te whakahoko te pola kalama ko higa ko hoa whakaosi e heni ai Pome Sisters pe mo Youth Hour pe ko hoa o tok tupu pe ko hoa o hako tupu ko higa ko hoa whakaosia e heni ai Mauri Anasini pe he ki Paulina pe o ia ia toke tā te nau kau I he pola kalama he ahoni e interview atu e he Pome Sisters ai toke tā ko ia. Ai ko me he taimini o au ki he taha ke o whainga ki o atu ai mahi o ngongo lahi taha te ulanga o atu pe o ne hoko e taha tau kolosi lewa ki he Youth Hour Marie Anasini pe mo Paulina pe mo Pome Sisters te nau atu ai pola kalama ko ia ai hoa o hakatupu e whanua pe ko tau tupu e whanua pe ko Youth Hour. Kore te mo share te tau pola kalama hoi mo e kainga I he loto hangamari mo ana. Oi whamaloa te mo tolu mo I painga I he taimini whamaloa tu ki he pura porisi me ori mele la tu taulahi whamaloa tu no taritari o e kainga ki he painga o e vate tari whalau I o whalahi atu ka toko e me ori mele la tu taulahi Tētelo tole rehi ni whare aisi malo mo e tamai kong kongin whare aisi ka malo ai kau mai ki tau pula kalama malo hono shea te tau pula kalama. Te whoki kia mau langi o kune kau mai ki tau tolu o whalahi atu. Whakatawange pe o ku tau inasi ta tau I he fia pe mo e mo ui. Hange koi ak mau heni. O la vei whoki koe aho sapateni koe aho eki, aho tapu. I Aotearoa pe he ki Australia pe mo tau ki whanua ko Tonga. O whalahi atu te mo tolu whakatawangi pe ki mo mao aho tapu. Ko aho eiki o ko whonu I he keres. Ia mo e laumarie o tamai he wani. Koe lama pe whasikoni, tau kamatarewa, kore te mo tolu ke mo kau mai ba mo shea te tau pola kalama. Koe ngahi o ngongo o e ahoni, mahu inga ke mo whanongo mai ki ai. Pea pe he whoki ki he pola kalama ai Youth Hour, pe koe pola kalama ko ia o whakahoka tu e he Pome Sisters. Whakatawangi peke laumari o tua kene kau mai e tau polo kalama e ahoni tataki e ngahi polo kalama o whakatutuhu pia me he paenga o e wake e tari whalau. Hou mai eiki o laumari e. Hou mai eiki o laumari e. Kau mo ki mautolu. O kalama e.
Takatapu ia ke hoto anga o e le tio wā ke tarifolau. Ai whakawhehoko taki anga o e tonga I he kolope. This is Radio Wake Tarifolau, where Tongans can connect globally.
I he loto whakawheta, I mea moe loto hounga ia. I he loto o ku hanga maarie. Moe loto whakamalo ia. Ko hia koe tau te au sia e pongi pongi whakakoloa koe ni. Whakahoka tuaia e whatongia koe ni pia me California. Me he kolo e kau angelo, I he polo kalama ai whi unu koula ai tonga. He ko haina ne ilo ho iku me ka inga. Te tau kau I he maalari. O e fia, o e pongpongi ko e ni. Pia tau whakawhetai ai pe ke tau tamai he wani. He ko ia o gune purei. Ai mea kotoa pē. I he langi mo mamani. I lola whanua mo kristahe. Tau kune pureia e tau mo ui. I he mominiti kotoa pē. Pea kapante tau wakai ho iki mo ka inga ki he polo kalama ko ia na e kamata aki a e whai whatongia a e paenga o e wā ke tarifolau. Kamata aki a e lot. Ke whakamanatu ke te ki tau tolu ko e mea kotoa pē o ku tau whakahoko. Ko pau ke tau whakakau ai a e otua. Kai ke kau a e otua I he taulanga ko e koto kula noa. Pea kapantu tau tu o sio ki ngahi aho ane awhi. Ki he hala whanonga na tau whanonga mai ai. Ko tau wawa mao pea moe mate na lau inisi pe. Ta inga ngahi whaingata na tau whi ao moia. Ta inga ngahi pore na tau whi tau laki moia. Pea ta inga ngahi hakau na totonu ke tau hake ai. Kau tau toi tuuta lere mai ki taulanga. A taulanga o e pongi pongi aho o fuluma ono. Aho tokonaki I Californiani. O kutuha I mo tau ki tau haka helangi ko tau. Tau pata pea tau maalari. He ko tau kau I he lau. Pea tau lau I he kau. O ene ofa. Kamo ene tufa. Mo ui. Pea kou tomu a kore ke u tala mo kāpui atu I he tala kakato e whanua pea mo e lotu. Pea tuku mua ke u whakamalu atu pē I he ngahi tala whakatapu kotoa pē mo ngahi tuunga kotoa u totonu ke whakatapua. Pea pehe whoki ki he tala o ku kei malu ai ho tau whanua. Ka koe tala o e tuku whanua na e whai I pouono e he uloa ki wha. Whai ai a hono whakatapui. Whai ai a hono momoi. Pea whai ai a e kovina nite. Pea mo tamai o tua. Ke malu I ho tau ki whanua. He koe ki tau mao ai malo he whiunga ke malu I atonga. Pea koe ki tau mao ai koloa whiunga. Pea koe ki tau mao ai poto whiunga. Pea mi he aho ko ia. Na e to'o atu he tamai he wani e ki whanua ko tonga. O ai ki hono whatawhata. Wana ne o whai makehe a tonga. Pea ku tala noa ia I he fuka ku keiviringia I ho tau ki whanua. Ko e whakailonga o e kovina anite, ko e whakailonga o e tuku pā, ko e whakailonga o e tuku lolo kakato ki he otua. I he whelaulau na ne whai a hono alo pē taha I he kolosi. Na lilingi ai a hono taa. Pea tawhi me hono waka ai vai, ko e whakailonga, ko e o singa maari e ia, o ene ofa. Na e whoaki mai ki a te koe, pea moau. Ko e whehui, o kutangau e aonga aki, a ene ofa ko ia. O kutahonga ia nai I hene ofa ko ia. O kai ngata pēi ki hen hanga o, whoaki mai taua ki mamani, whoaki mai ai mo ui, pene tauhi ki taua me he aho na e whanau ia ki taua. O ta hao mai ki he aho ko eni. O ku tuha mo tau ki tau whakawhetai. Pea tau whakamalo ai. Pea ku tau tai maari I he taimi ko eni o rineti, pe koe taimi o e whakawhoou. Taimi o e whakamamahi, taimi o teu ki he pekia. Ke tau kaunga pekia whakataha mo ia. I ho tau wanga motu a. I he tau wanga hala. I he tau tō nou. I he tau wafe mea te ia. I he tau situa mea te ia. Ka tau whakawhoou, tau whoki ki apa. Toku pā e tau mo ui, pea riu kawa. Ke tau kau whakataha mo ia, I he pekia he kolosi. Nta lava ke tau toi tuu whakataha mo ia, I he aho o e toi tuu. Pea tau whakawhetai mo whakamalo ko toa pēi ke te ia ko hia ko e ne whakalā ko I fua. Ai hautoka o e whonua. King tupo wono pea pehe ke he kuini o whina o tonga, kuini nana spau. Tau whia ko toa pē o kune kei whakalau maari ai Princess Pure, Salote Mawhile o Pilo Levu. Pehe ke Pirinis Kalauni, Pirinisi Ulukaulala tupo toa. Whakawhetai o kune kei whakalau maari ai Eiki Paremia o tonga. Ono po se ao se soaleni, pea pehe ki he kauminista o kabineti o ne afio. Whawhetai o ke lau maari e pea e sea o e wharearea. Ono po whakawhanua, Lord whakawhanua. Pea pehe ke hoi ki no pere o e whanua. Tau whakawhetai o ke lau maari e lerei pea ha whakaolunga tonga. Au hataki lotu. O kuna whai a hono tataki ki tau tolu I he taimi mahu inga ko eni. Ai taimi o e whakawhoou, taimi o riu kawa, taimi o whoki ki api. Koe iai hoi ki mai ka inga o ku tau whakawhetai ko toa pē ko hia ko e ke lau maari e lelei e singahi vāsi koula o tonga, kau tau koula. Mau awhalahi atu e te mo tolu pia malo mua e whakatotola a o ku whai. Ko homo uma o ku mau whia tangata I he ahoni. O whalahi atu ka te mo tolu mo e whakatawange ke whai tāpu e kina ki mo tolu e he tamai he wani lolotonga e whakatotola a o ku whai. Pea hei kai ke ngalo a ho mo tauanga na e whai me he kuhiri. Hei kai ke ngalo a e whanawhana mea na mo whai o mau hoko ai ko tangata hoi ahoni. Hei kai ke ngalo a e sia pea mo e pena na mo whai I he aho ko aluna. Hei kai ke ngalo ai tō whohi. Pea pehe ki he tāriu nā mō whai. I he wholau nā e whai. Mau o whātu mo e whakamālo. I he loto honga ia mo oni. I he whakato uta mai. Ai ahoni o mau tangatai. Mau o whalahi atu te mo tolu si kau tole kereka. Pea pehe ki singai whawhonga ko toa pē o kunau I he mohenga o e mamahi. Mau atu ai ofa mo e mau lotu ke te mo tolu. Pe koe haa e whakotua mo si mo uai, mo tolu mo si dialysis, mo tolu o mo I wharemahaki, pe mo I api, pa mo I he mohenga o mamahi. Whakatawange ki a te ia, ai toketā o e ngahi toketā. Ke mawhao mai hono tōku pui nima whai whakamo ui. Whoaki atu ke te mo tolu, ai mo ui lelei, pe ke to'o me te mo tolu e ngahi mahaki ko toa pe o mo uai. Pea lava ke hoko atu ai whanonga mo e whai whatongia I he whamiri siasi pia moi fonua. Ta pe foki ai offa lahi atu ke fofonga kotoa pe o e tangata i fonua fe fine i fonua talavou mo fine mui hako tupu o e fonua. Pia pe he ke sola mo e vulangi kotoa pe tau kau whakataha i he whiohianga ko eni ai tonga i he painga o e wā ke tari wholau. Tari tari loto fia ki mou tolu e he whi unu koula e tonga. Mo i kei whakamanatu atu ke te mou tolu ai mahu inga. Mahu inga aho tau tala tuku whakaholo. Mahu inga aho tau tau whatunga motua. Mahu inga ke tau kei puke puke a fufula. Pea ke tau kei tuku lau mea ia. Ki he tau whanau. Pea mue whanau e tau whanau. Pea mue holoi tau tangata. Oku nau mui aki mai. Whakatawangi pe. Ke te ngotolu i Aotearoa. Nus Australia pea pehe. Ki o tau ki whanua ko tonga. Ke mau mau ha aho. Aho ho tau eiki. Ko ha aho o whonu i he kres. Aho ke utua e tau ngahi i pū me Sayone. Aho ke tau maua i a keresi. Pea mo e laumari e. O ta foki. Pea koe foki ki api. Ko se mismo meo ko i heni. Ke whai whatongi atu ma ki mautolu. Pea whakatawangi pe o kuongo atu ke te mautolu. Ai whai whatongi a ko eni. Ki he tapa ko toa pe o e kolo pe o mo mea mai me iai. Peu kei Aotearoa, peu kei Australia, peu kei New Zealand, peu kei Europe, peu kei Siapani, peu kei Siaina, peu kei Siamani. Peu ko whepe tapa kolo peu kei ai, peu kei Filipaini. Whakakakau atua e mau o whaake te mo tolu. Peu ko ia o tau fia ko tau pe hoi me ka inga neongoa e vai tu ua ki tau tolu. E he lau awhe o e maire o seni e kai whanua o tau nofo ai. Kau kia e tau rea tonga. Koe mama o pe a hiku sila. Neongo pe e tau wā mama o. Kau hanga pe he whe ofa aki ai tonga. O mai ki tau tolu ke tau whakataha mai. Ki he paenga o e wā ke tari wholau. O whai aia e tau piki hama kai vai manawa. O whai aia e tau whe inasi aki i he whoi mā ai tonga. O whai aia e tau whe pou aki. Whe loto whakaloto lahi aki. I he whiohi anga ko e ni. Pea mahino ai oku kei tonga pe a tonga. A pe whoki ai ofa atu ki tonga pea mo e whaingataa oku mo whe ao mo ia. Whakatawange pe oku hoko ai ngahi ofa oku whakakakau atu pea me he tapa kehe ho maamani. Whakaauhe ai ho tau kakai. Kau whinga pe ai tonga. Pea ko whewhi tui maamani oku iai. E whakakakau atu ha ki hi mea o kuma. Ke mou inasi ai. Kai hirio ai. Ke whakamahino ka te mau tolu. Neongo e mau i he whanua muri. Ka ko mau mafu mo e mau ofa. O kei tuku pe i tonga. E koe tunguanga ia o e mau manatu. Ko ia nei whai ai a hono whatu me la langa e mau moui. Pe ko ia na ne tuki mona nofo ke hoko ko e kakano mo toto i ho mau sino pe mau a eva i pe mani kana e fai a hono na moa pe me tonga whakatawange pe ki he tamai he wani a ia une mawhai ki he mea kotoa pe whakawave mai ha taimi ke tatala atu ai whaingata i he mahaki koe COVID i taha hiwa o kwe ao pia mo tonga. O tau tui pe mo amana ki lelei kai kia ha mea whaingata ki he otua i he taimi o tau hanga hake ai o kune lawa pe o whakanonga e tahi o ku hou pe o kune lawa pe o whakafonu ai kupenga na fiu hono tau tai whakafonu i he ika kehe. Tene malama pe ke tatala a whaingata a koe ni mei tonga. Tau tui pe he kai keneri aki ho tau ki whanua. Ko i o whalahi atu ki tonga pe o ku lava pe ke mau sioloto at ki ta ai fafangu ta ai lari fononga tu ngai family ki sayone ke fai ai hu mo lot ki a deia o kune pure mo mafeia me ko tape ko ia o fala hiat te mo tolu mo whakatawangi me ki tau ma ha fe hoi anga mo ha polo kalama whakafo ofa i he ahoni i he lau maari e pia mo kires aho tau o tua ko ia o fala hiat tu he ni ke te mo tolu hono ko tape o fa tu he ni ki a ma ulangi langi si whakarea mai whamalo i he whaiwhatongia o ku whai pea whakatawange o ku tau inasi ta tau i he mo uilele i koe tahaia ngai whakarea o ku whakalata ke tau whanongo ki ai pea mahino mai ko ki nau tolung nau whakahoko mai ai ngahi tala monu ko ini o ku nau inasi pe i he tāpuaki pea mo ui o hange ko ia whai ki ai a whakaamu ana lusi fetuu malo e tau mao e sa pate whakafoofa ko eni o whaatu whataulua eua tonga whakawhetai eiki a se lusi fetuu o ku mau ofa lahi atu ki ho tau ki whanua pea malo mua e kau mai pea mei he funga whanua pea mei eua mei whataulua eua whakarea mai mei ai a se lusi fetuu mau ofa atu pea mei he ikare ki a te mo tolu malo e whakarea mai fia he whanongo atu o ku si kau mai ai funga whanua pea mei whataulua eua e funga whanua mei tonga pesi mau malanga whakamaloa te misi maloa ngā ue o whaatu ke te mo tolu ki he whanua lahi pea mei he Kiwi Land whakamalo atu pesi malo mua si kau mai pea mei Aotearoa ko e taimia ko whakalata ai a whakarea atu ki mo tolu mo kau mai ko whe tau ki whanua e whunga whanua o ku lava pe ke nau kau mai mo ki tau tolu pe hange ko whakarea na ku whai atu ane nai neongo e vai tu ua ki tau tolu he lauafe o maire o seni ka huiai e lea o ku kei tonu pea whakamoni o kei mo oni pe ngahi ahoni ko mama o pe a hiku sila neongo ene ha mama o ka tau wao fi pe i he loto mo e mafu o tonga ko yo whakamalo atu e pesi ki Aotearoa he Kiwi Land whakatawangi pe o ku leleia mea kotoa e Kiwi Land pe o ko lavei e ngahi ofa o ku whakahoko mai o hange ko ia mau whakahoko atu pia mei Amerikani hange whakahoko mai mei Australia ai whakafolau atu e ngahi koloa mo e ngahi ofa ki ho tau si kainga i tonga pe ko tui o ku hounga ia ki he tonga kotoa pe Emily lau kau tofu o ku whamalo atu o kau mai whamalo atu ki a sene tu alau makahiri ai ngā ue lahi mai pia me he tau main station pia me he Bay Area San Francisco moni pia rea koe a hiwa koe I left my heart in San Francisco o walai atu kati koe Emily pia mo sione tu alau i he whaiwhatongia mai a hoi ki mo kainga mo tolu te keike mo mea ai koe main station koe ai le dio wake tari wholau o ku iai a sione tu alau makahiri pia mo Emily tofu pia ko kinaua kuna hanga tokanga i mai ngā station i he taimi o ku iai haki palaparema whakateknikare i he ngā station i o ku lava pe ke na hu mai pia mei he main station o fixe a palaparema ko ia Lucia Louis Thompson so ku he ni mo ki tau tolu whakamalo atu Lucia Louis Thompson malo mua tau maua e aho whakakoloa ko eni pia malo a si whaiwhatongia mai mei hena ofa atu kia Nancy pia pehe foki ki he whanau mo e whangamakapuna. A lele mea fo'o ko hoa ni o e whaiwhekau whinau mea fo'o, pea mei Portland, o ku na kau foki I he ngahi whakahoko whatongia ai station whakalotu, whakataha pea mo whaiwhekau Sione Mālua, pea mo Linda Mālua, pea me Vancouver. Whakamalo atu alere, pea whakamalo atu ki he whaiwhekau, I he whaiwhatongia mai pea me he tau station whakalotu, ai koe station mahu inga taha ia I he whakalea ai pure le tio wake tari whalau sentu alau makaheri. Koe station mahu inga taha eni I he ngahi station ai le tio wake tari whalau pe koe mo oni, oi mo oni. Ai rea ko ia pe o ku mautui katoa ki ai. Koe misini eni pe koe malohinga eni o whaiwhatongia ai le tio wake tari whalau. Koe ngā station whakalotu koe ni kunau o atu ai. Polokalama lotu I he kamataanga o whaiwhatongia ai le tio wake tari whalau I he pongpongi. Pea nau to e hū mai I he whakaosinga o whaiwhatongia o whai ai lotu mohe pe koe lotu e fiafi ai le tio wake tari whalau. Koe u whakamalo atu e a lere mea who'o, pia u ofa lahi atu. Ki he ni whoki a Dr. Afapalu. Whakamalo atu kati koe Dr. Afapalu, ko Dr. Afapalu whoki o ku koe tare kita lahi ia o e le tio wake tari whalau, koe tare kita lahi ia o e poate, o e kau tare kita I he le tio wake tari whalau. Pea ko Dr. Afapalu o ku aneafi na polokalama mai pea mo Dr. Pagieri Kaufosi. I he polokalama ngamaheni ko ia o e aho whalaite. I he na wahe mai aho na poto, mo na tau kei, mo na usia. Ke lava ke inasi ai e tau kainga tonga. Pea ko ki mo tolu o ku mo lava o kau mai he polokalama ko ia e fiafi whalaite o ku penolo ai ai o ngotoke tāko eni. Pea na e whakahoko ai e Dr. Pagieri Kaufosi ai mau whainga marie I he whakahoko mai ke kauange o polokalama pea mo Ex-Minister ko ia o Tonga, Ex-Minister Piukala, Minister mo uia a Tonga. Pea na whakahoko mai e Dr. Pagieri, na whakawhoofa na polokalama I he na whepotala noa aki o mei lava ai houa e ua. Pea o mahino mai ai fuufia mau e Tonga, tau te whito ki he minister mo ui ai poto o ongo tangata ko eni. Pea kumorona mo kau mai ane afi he polokalama ko ia ai ongo toke tā, na iai pea mo e lawe ai talanoa a Dr. Afapalu ki he ngā ue na e kamata e akirispohiwa. Ai whainga ko ia hafounga ke lava ke detecti ai pe lava o mauai ai whaito o kona tapu. Pea na e kau a Dr. Afapalu I hono teu ai ngahi tokoni I he tawhaki ko ia. Pea he na talanoa ko ia pea mo Dr. Pagieri ane afi na e mahino ai e na whakatoka ngai ai fuufia mau o ki naua I Tonga. Ko e minister mo ui na ane fie talanoa mai ki a Dr. Pagieri. Kono hinga whoki toko lahi unau toki hanga o ilo I whakamatuunga pe ia I hono whakahoko mono whakamatala e Dr. Afapalu. Mantui whako yongo toki tāko ni ukaki na loto ke talanoa I ki naua mo e mea kuna ilo mo e mea kuna au ki ai. Kako Dr. Pagieri I he whakamatala ko ia Dr. Afapalu o ku kau a ene ngahi pepa pea mo ene ngahi input I he vailasi pea mo e tau te whito ke vaccine o ku fu utoka I pea fu whakapapa I he's very respected I he malae o sayanisi global scientist. Pea o ku kau Dr. Pagieri I he ene ngahi pepa o ku present ki he kau sayanisi ko ia amamani. Ko whe ki whonua ko Tonga o ku recognize mai he kau scientist, top scientist amamani. Dr. Pakieri. Pea kou tui I he pōtala noa ko ia na ana whai pea mo eki minista ko ia o Tonga na lava ai ke whakatonga he eki minista o Tonga ai mahu inga o Dr. Pakieri. Ko ki motolu mo whakakau mai ki he polo kalama ko ia Dr. Pakieri I he tala noa ko I ke mo uilelei toko lahi ai ka kai o kunau lava o tā mai pēka Dr. Pakieri tala mai ka nau tolu pea whakahoko ate Dr. Pakieri ai ngahi whaito tau te whito pē ki ngahi lai a kau mo ngahi fuai a kau o ne whakamatala atu e anga hono ngahi tau tai maari ai ho ik mo ka inga I he poto e o tangata ko eni whakatawangi pē ki o tua koe o whalahi atu te koe Dr. Whapalu pea I he taimi ko mau polo kalama ai o ku o wako o pito ai mea lahi I honga toke tā ko eni ka I ngata pē I ha they are both very humble na hanga whakatō ki lalo pea ko taha ia o e whai ka vei koula Tonga ko e loto tō kai whi tokoni whi loto maulalo kai tokoni ki ho tau kakai ko e ofalahi atu ke te koe Dr. Whapalu whamalo atu Lucia Louis Thompsons pe foki ki a Lavi Makel malo se misi si tokoni ofa atu mo e lotu ofa atu ke te koe Larry Makel malo si kau mai ape foki ki a Salote Takitaki ofa atu se misi malo a ngau elelei ngau elahi me hena ani a foki na vahe atu ai lea na fai Salote Takitaki pe mo KP Haft life is too short ko na hui ngā ke taimi ko nai polo kalama ai lolo kakala te au pe na hanga o whakahoko mai ai whiama o ke teu ai ho ik whawhine ke nau fia ke nau ongo I lote nau dolu o ku nau talavou nau hoi fua pe ka ingata ai o nau toi alaha tu pe mo ngahi kakala te nau dolu it's very important Teresia Puafisi ahoviri malo ai whaifatongia lelei mihena mamata mo whanongo atu pea me Nusila whawhia o pito whamalo atu te mo tolo mo whakarea mai mo tala mai a whetu mo whakarea mai me ai o ku mahino mai ai wherea koe unity in diversity tau whakataha mai I ho tau mā vahe tau mafola whetu ke keho mā mani kau tau unite mai ki tau tolu hele te ova ke tari folau mā loa pia whakawheta I eiki Teresia Puafisi whakahoko atu ai ofa o Linsi kia te koe kia mā loa si kau mai visa si o la tu mā loa si ngā ue me tau mā ue pongpongini God bless you too visa si o e foki ke tō whine koni eita tamare ki he Bay Area ofalahi atu ke te koe eita malo mua si kau mai pea manatu I lotu atu ai pē mau tolu pea whahoko mai pea moi ofa pea me Salote ke te koe Linsi siu tahi tua o ku ne kau mai mo ki tau tolu ko Larry Makel o ku ne whakahoko mai ko au hale me nukunuku malo lahi si I tokoni pea moe whakaloto lahi ki he tau kakai ke nau tuu he pongpongi kotoa o lotu ki he otua o whatu moe lotu whakamalo atu e hale ai kau mai ko hale pea me nukunuku whakalata whanongo atu o ku kau mai tapa kotoa peo mā mani Aotearoa ko funga fonua nuku pea pehe ki Australia whakalata au pito whakalata tau whiahoi Edwin Makoni whakamalo atu si whakarea mai o whaatu ki ho beautiful family mo loto honga ia malo o pito Edwin malo ai si kau mai Koe ofalahi atu ke te koe hale, pea mei nuku. The Rock. Oku iheni, The Rock is in the house. The Rock ofalahi atu mei nuusila, malo e whai whatongia ola ma hotau kakai. Whakamalo atu The Rock. I like that name, The Rock. Mei Aotearoa. Keke hoik mo kainga o ku iai ai fia lahi au pito i he tau kau ko ia i he ahoni. Pea hange ko ia nai whakahoko atu ane nai ko e whai whatongia ko e ni ulua ki konga o polo kalama o au ki he taimi taha. Pea e kolosi lewa ki he Pomee Sisters. Ai a ko Marie Pomee, Ana Seini Pomee, pea ko Charlotte Pomee, pea mo Paulina Pomee. Ai au ilona tolu ko e Pomee Sisters. O ku nao whakahoko atu ai polo kalama ko ia ai Youth Hour, pe ko e polo kalama ai to'u tupu, pe ko e hako tupu. Pea i he ahoni, o ku nao interview ai taha o e kau toke tā. Whakawhawhua he te mini o ku mahalo ko e toke tā ni o ku osi whakaofi he tolu ngō fulu. Ku o whakaeke e he Pomee Sisters. Ko e wike ko osi na e polo kalama tuai pea mo Dr. Pakieri, pea pehe kia Dr. Lavoni. Dr. Lavoni pea mei he sila pelua. Pea na e whakalata e polo kalama mo ia, kana e interview ia e he Pomee Sisters i he polo kalama ki mua. Pea na e enjoy au pito he Pomee Sisters ai interview ko ia o Dr. Lavon. Pea pehe be whoki e Dr. Lavoni ene whakaamu ke nau toi pōtala noa pea mo e Pomee Sisters pe ko e polo kalama ko ia ai Youth Hour ko ia o ku tungu pe ki a Dr. Afapalu he ko ia ku nehanga o organize mo whakatu ai ki nau tolu o ku whakaeke he Pomee Sisters pe o ko tui o ki ai pe mo e ngahi whakatu ai tare ki nā, tate whitu a Dr. Afapalu ki he polo kalama ko ia ai Youth ki hano toe tuku atu ke toe kau mai a mamani katoa ki he polo kalama ko ia. Ko ia o ku atu e talamunu ki a Dr. Afapalu pea mo e whakatutu o ku whai. Ono unga whako i ongo toke tā ko e ni hoik mo i ka inga. I he taimi ko ia o ku whiohi ai mo nā wā, mo talanoa mo nā wā, o ku mahino mai ko hona mafu. Pea mo i na whakaamu ke tokoni i a tonga. Pe ko ta whaaki ki he mo ilelei, pe ko ta whaaki ki he ako, pe ko hea pe ta whaaki o lawai ke na tokoni, ma ho tau whonua i he poto, mo tu unga o kuna iai, o kuna fia, ke tokoni i a tonga. Pe o tonu ki tau hanga o hapo i ai, fo i pulu ko ia ko fo i tāpu aki, tau lau monu pe tau lau tāpu aki, lolo tonga u tau kei mau. Talu e tau whakaamu ke iai ha kau tangata, ko e kau poto, kau toke tā, ke nau kau mai i he pōtala noa ko ninga, tau te whito ko e ngotoko tā ko e ni. O kai ko ha medical doctor, ka ko e research doctors. Hangepe ko ia ko Dr. Lavoni ko e research doctor. Kau toke tā una honga whakatoto loi. Aia o ku kei lahi au pito e ngahi mea ia ke nau o mai, ke whakainasi aki, o kei ngata pe i he kainga tonga, ka koe kakai kotoa i mamani. Kai ke hoik mo kainga, ko e hiri pe whasiko ni, te tau hoko atu ki he tau ngahi ongo, o au ki he taimi taha. Ka kimua ke Kimo ki tau hoka tu hoi ki mo kai ngā o whi mau pe ke o hanga o ki whakatau kei a ki mo tolu. Ai mape whekau aki pea mo e wheitu uko ia o kulolotonga whai ki ai ngahi o ngongo o ahoni. Koe mea lelei ai tuko o ngongo pea atu mo hingoa ngahi wheitu pea mo mana toi na ko o atu I he mape. Peko temi ko mo me ai ki he mape o lava ke whakaofiofi a ho mo whakakaukau ki he sio kalafi o e whonua ko e ni whekau aki pea mo e ngai whonua ofi mai. Ulua ki pe ko e mape ko e ni na o atu ki mua. O i mo ka inga ko whi mau pe ke o atu mo ngahi hingoa te mo whanongo mau pe I ngahi hingoa ko ia pea ko tui e whaingofua nge ai ho mo mahinoi ai ngahi ongongo ko ni o atu. Ulua ki pe ko e mape ko na mo mea mai ki ai ho e mo ka inga te o ngau e ki pe ai ki arrow ko ena ko tu pe mahalo te mo mea mai pe ki ai. Pea ko ki mo tolu ko ki lava ke mo mea mai I he ngalu o pe ko ata te uwhenga pe ke whakamatala atu I he mahino taha. Ko inga ke lava ke mo mahino I mai pe I he anga ho mo whakakaukau. Neongo ko ki lava ke mo mea mai. Ulua ki mo koe mape ko ia koe o Ukraine. O koe ngahi hingoa o ku whiama o ke mohanga whakatokanga. E pau te mo wakai hifo I he mape. Ulua ki pe te hanga o ulatu o tuku o whakamatala atu a ene whekau aki pea mo ngahi whonua a takai. Ki he tawhaki to o mata u. Ai a koe tawhaki whaka isite ia pe koe east o Ukraine ko Lucia ia. Ai a pe koe kolomua ko ia Lucia ko Moscow. Lucia ki tawhaki to o mata u pe koe tawhaki whaka isite o Ukraine. I he tawhaki ko ia ki lalo pe koe saute o Ukraine o kuiai a e tahi ko ia o kui koe Black Sea. Pe koe tahi uri Black Sea. Koe I ki ongongo whekau aki pea mo e tahi ko e ni. Koe tahaini o e tahi o kuiai e ngahi taulanga I Ukraine. O kiai e ngahi taulanga ai tau mai kiai e ngahi waka pea pehe foki ki he ngahi manuao. Koe taulanga e ni na iai e ngahi manuao a Lucia. Na nau ngau e aki o whai ko hono whana mi he manuao I hono pomu ko ia o Ukraine. Pea koe manuao ai e ua he whakahoko atu he polokalama ne a whi na whakangoto ia he kautau ko ia Ukraine na nauhanga o whana ai manuao ko ni o ngoto ihe poti ko ia I he Odessa. Te utoki o atu ai mape ke to whakaasi atu ai ngahi wheitu ko ia I hewe tahi Black Sea. I he tawhaki whaka saute south ki he tawhaki to he mape koe ano whakarea taha koe south west. Aia koe, tau tawhaki to he maa o kuia koe west, tawhaki to matau kui koe east. Tawhaki ki olunga o kui koe north, tawhaki ki lalo o kui koe south. Koe whinga peke tokoni atu, kia teki mou tolu o ku mou mea mai I he ata, pia to tokoni atu kia teki mou tolu mou whanongo mai pe I he ngalu ea. I he tawhaki whaka wesite ko ia o Ukraine. Tawhaki whaka wesite o Ukraine, ka ki tawhaki ki lalo, ai koe pehe tawhaki lalo koe south ia. Ai a koe south west o Ukraine. Pea lava peke pehe koe tawhaki south, pea koe tawhaki saute ko ia o Ukraine. O kia ia whetuu ko Moldova. Pea hoko pe Moldova, whetuu ko Romania. Romania, koe kau ia I he ngahi whonua nau me mipa I he NATO. Hoko hifo ki Romania I he tawhaki alupeni ki tawhaki to he ma, pe ko hono whakarea mahi no tawhaki wesite. Mo mana tui ko tawhaki to he ma, koe wesite ia, koe tau alupeni tawhaki to matau, koe isite ia. I ta whaki we site o Romania ko Hungary. Pe ko Hungary. Ko taha moia o e me mipa o e NATO. Pe ai olunga hake i Hungary ko Slovakia. Ko Slovakia i he whakatonga. Aia ko Slovakia i olunga hake pe ko noate ai ko e taimi pe mo whanongai pe he olunga ko noate i lalo saute. Hema ko e wesite, matau ko isite. Ai olunga hake pe ko noate ko ia o Hungary o i o Hungary ko Slovakia. Pea i olunga hake i Slovakia ko Polani. Ko Polani e mei iai ai ongo ko ia o ahoni. Uluaki pe ko Polani o iai ai Palestinio Amerikani i he taimini. Pea ko Polani na whakahoko mai me iai ai lea ko ia President Joe Biden. Pea mei Polani. Apate mo wakahi foho ik mo kainga i he loto fonua ko ia o Ukraine. O kia ia whetu i he central Ukraine o kia whetu ko Kyiv, K-Y-I-V. O kupu aki ko Kyiv. Ko e kolomu ia o Ukraine. Pea ko e kolomu a ko ia Ukraine o kia ai Palestini ko ia o Ukraine. Pea o kutu ia i he city o Kyiv. Ko meia ko ia o e city o Kyiv. Na o so atu ai ongongo ki mua. Ko e tangata hau i loa i mamani. And he's a Hall of Fame i he fuhu heavyweight. Na ane hau o ne malolo pe u tika ki lava hataha o i kuna e tangata ko eni. Ko tangata ko Vitali Klitschko. Vitali Klitschko ko e hauia o mamani i he malae o e heavyweight champion i he fuhu. Pea ko Vitali ko e meia ia o Kyiv. Ai ko Kyiv ko e city a ko e i he city ko ia o Kyiv ko e kolomu ia o Ukraine. Ai au mei ai tangata hau malolo ko ia i he fuhu, pe ko hau o mamani i he fuhu, Hall of Fame, a heavyweight champion ko Vitali Klitschko. Tangata ko ni na ne taki he tau pe au kuiai pe a mo tangata ko ongo tangata fuhu i loa pe a me Ukraine ko Vitali. Pea moe tangata taha ko Isik. Pea ko Isik. Ai ko U-S-Y-K. Onga tangata ko ni na alupe o na hau i mamani i he malae o e fuhu. Kita lano no pe ki he tangata ko ia koe ko Isik. Na iai hao no whaka eke i hene whoki atu ko ia koe ki Ukraine. Pana whoki atu koe ki Ukraine i pana hanga eke. Hea mea koe toi whoki mai, why are you coming back? Ai koe na whakaukau o ku alu he fuhu bea. Whakamatala tangata koe ni ko alu takai mamani. Kako hoku mafu o ku heni pe. Pea nai pehea he tangata koe ni. Taimi koe na eke ai, koe hea mea o ke toi whoki mai ai. Pea koe tari ko ia ai tangata koe ni nane pehe, what do you mean? Koe hea ho uhinga. Koe whoki mai ke tau ma hoku whonua. Pea koe ai ene rea maari o ne pehe. Na eke ange ki ai, pe oku uri fia. When asked if he was afraid, na netali lewa, my soul belongs to the Lord, and my body and my honor belong to my country and my family. Ko lea ia tangata hau ko eni I he fuhu champion whakataha pia mo Vitali. Aia ko mei ia o city ko ia o Kiev, aia ko kolomu ia o Ukraine. Ka ko lea maria tangata ko eni, my soul belongs to the Lord, and my body and my honor belong to my country and my family. Ko hoku lau marie o ai o tuaia, ka ko hoku sino pia mo hoku langi o ku hoku fonuaia, o ku a hoku fonua pia mo hoku family. Pia pehebe foki ki he tangata ko eni, ko Vitali ko Hall of Fame ia, pe ko hau ia, na ka ki lava hataha liua I he mala o fuhu. Ka ke hoi mo ka inga ko feitu ko ia ko o ku whakahoko atu I he mape ko feitu ko ia ko Kiev ko kolomua. I he tawhaki whakawe site o Kiev, feitu ko Lviv ko LVIV ai o puaki ia ko Lviv. Pea ko feitu ko ia o ku na whai hono pomu he kaulusia whakamui. Aia ko pomu ko ni I he taimi ko ni o ku iai Palestini ko ia o Amerikani. Whakatatau ki he whakamatala ko pomu whakamui ko ni o Lviv. Aia mo me amai tawhaki whaka we site o Ukraine, ka tawhaki whaka I site ia o Polani. Whaka south east o Polani. Aia ko tawhaki whakata o matau, ka ki lalo hifo, ai alu whaka south. Ai tu ai fitu ko Lviv. Fitu ia ko na pomu ko ia ane po. Ai ko taimi ko ni o lotonga iai Joe Biden na pomu Lucia. Ko pomu whakamui fitu ko ni na pomu ia I he ngahi wike ku maliwa tu. Pea talu me iai na ikai ke to iai hafu pomu I he tawhaki whaka we site ko ia Ukraine. Me ko ngahi pomu mo attack ko ni na me nofo pe I he tawhaki whaka I site. Aia ko me ko tawhaki a koe ki Lucia. Ka I he tawhaki ni koe ko Lviv. Na pomu whakamui I he ngahi wike atu ki mua, maha koe wike ni tahape ua me iai. Na nauhanga o pomu apitanga sotia, pe koe ako anga sotia. Whatatau ki he whakamatala, wike taha, hiri a mawahe a kau Amerikana na o mai o train iai a kau sotia Ukraine I Lviv, I he api sotia ai. Pea I he mawahe tu koe a kau sotia Amerika, I he wike peho no hoko na nau pomu ai apitanga sotia ko eni. Kai kehe ke na talu me iai, pea na ikaike toi fufai ha attack I he tawhaki whaka wesite. Pe ko tawhako ni koe ki he Polani. Ka I he iai ko eni ai Palestini, na nauhanga o pomu ai feitu ko eni. Whakafuafua o ku maile pe mahalo hongo fulu, pea mei he pota ko ia o Ukraine ki Polani. Aia ko kau afonua ko ia o Ukraine pia mo Polani, pia me fitu ko na pomu Lviv, o me maire hongo fulu me iai. Whakafofua ki he fitu ko ni koe na iai Joe Biden peko Palestini ko Amerikani, na whakafua ki he maire onongo fulu, pea me he kau afonua. Pea I he taimi koe ni na whakahoko ai pomu pa na nauhanga o toe move Palestini away pe koe mamao atu pea me Ukraine. I he maire ua ngiau tupu. Aia mahalo ko nau manawasi ina o vare u iai ha mea hoko ki he Palestini hene whinga i ke mawahe au pito pia me he kau a whonua. Ka kehe koe taha o analaiso he kau whai o ngongo ai koe hae uhinga o tokihanga koe ni Lucia o ateki a Lviv hiri a ngahi weekend na kaike na wala ki ngahi whetu u whakawesite. Pea koe whakafuafua toko lahi o kuhanga Putin o send a message. Pea koe a message o kuhanga Putin o whingai ke o ngoi pea whakatoka ngai Biden. Ai koe ha message ko ia. Ai ko message unihanga sendi mai ki a Biden o ki kaike uri whiau ia koe. Ka koe lea ko ia na whai Joe Biden i he nerea ko ia i he bea mei Warsaw. Nerea koe mei Warsaw o ne hanga o na nelea mamafa ki he Palestini o Lucia. Pea koe ne rea ko ia he ahoniho eik mo ka inga. Kia te au mo ku whanongo koe i whanongo e toko lahi koe lea mamafa he na ne raise on a voice i he whanongo i he te whanongo ia ki he rea koe ni a Joe Biden. Ai mahino mai o kune whinga i ke whakaidifia hono leo. Ka koe whanongo a toko lahi o eiki moi ka inga o ku hange pe ha kuriu kālo. Koe ki ai ha fu mea taha i he enerea koe ni na e whai. Pea o ku whakaapa mo oni ki he Palestini, pea mo tuunga koia o ku iai. Ka whakatatau ki hono analaiso he toko lahi a enerea koe na e whai. O ku sound strong, ka koe ki aha fu mea na e whakamamafa iai. Koe huinga koia e kau analaiso koia lea koe ni, kai ki aha ngahi T. Taylor, o ene lea o hange koe kabana mo whanonga hene rea ka te kamata pe me ulaki kamata o ene rea pe te o atu ai pe mo e ku lau a ako. I he ulaki kamata ene rea na ne pe he be not afraid. Be not afraid koe foi phrase ia pe koe moto ia ai tu itapu ko ia pe a mei polani. Uluaki tu itapu na e whiri mei Polani, mei Warsaw, whitu ko Cracker. Whitu ia o tu tapu ko ni kon John Paul II. John Paul II ko taha ia o kau taki i loa i mamani, i hono taimi. Ko tangata na lea hanga tonu, lea lahi pea lea i he mooni. Pena hanga rewa Joe Biden o quote ai lea ko ia John Paul II. Be not afraid. Kono hinga ke lava ke connecti pia mo kakai ko ni o Polani. O mandui ko tu itapu ni o Polani taimi na ne fokia tuai ki Polani na ne uma he kere. Ka koe historia ko ia o John Paul II. Mo kataki ko fa mo atu ka fusa ke ta pui fa ngalo ma pe ia te au. Ko ia hoik me kainga ko John Paul II ko tu itapu ia o taimi ko ia pe me Polani. Na ne tupu hake i he taimi o community pe ko taimi ko ia hono whakatangai o kakai lotu persecute pe ko whakatangai o kaukaristiane i he ngai whonua community. Pea ko taha ni o fo i li liu lahi au pito i Polani. Pea mo ngai fonua komniusi nau ataka i koia a Polani. Na e ta foki ai ka kai Polani. I he foki atu koeni a John Paul II hili koia a hono whakanofo koe tu itapu. Liriu ai ka kai koeni o mei lotu kotoa. Panauhanga o whaka auha e komniusi. Tai mieni nei ke a aho ai e pure e komniusi he whitu koeni. He nai au ko John Paul II na kau he kau toi ko ia pea me he kau komniusi. E whakamatala hono historia documentia mo uia John Paul II na ia taimi na kumia kau komniusi pa lere o toi i he ki i loki. Pane sio mai pe ki he laka hola kau so tia e kapona e mau he kai ke iai John Paul II. Kana ne toi ai o hao pea ne hoko ai ko tu itapu. Pe ne hoko ko tu itapu na hangarewa o whaka auha ai kominisi aki pea e ne taki whakalotu. Ko konga o fi lave ki ai ho ikmakainga. Kono ngā tu o lahi a hono whaangau e aki e Joe Biden ai poster part ko Katolika. Ne poster part ko Katolika. Kakapau te whakamatala atu ai ngahi mea nei mo ui ake e John Paul II. O fu opposite ia me mea o ku tuu ai o Joe Biden he ahoni. Tau te fito ki he abortion. Pe koe whakatō tama. Koe tuitampu ko e ni i hene uluaki a ahi mai ki Amerikani. Taimi ia o Palestini Bill Clinton. Pana taritari eni i New York. I he malai wakapuna International Airport koe New York. Pea i hene hifo ko ia a John Paul II. O si ai ai funga stage ke na iai pea mo Bill Clinton. Pea osi ko ia hano introduce Bill Clinton ya John Paul II pa tu hakerewa John Paul II o kamata e nerea. Pea koe ahoina ia e nerea ko eni na aku whakahongo atu ki mua. America, your greatness is measured not by how many countries you conquer or how many countries you saved, but it measured by how many lives you saved. Pea oski pa hoko atua ia ene tala noa whekau aki pea mo e tamate i ko ia o e whangaki i pepe i manawa. O manatui ko Bill Clinton e kau mo ia i he kau pou koeni ki he abortion. Pea na e kau eni he lea lahi a John Paul II. Ko e John Paul II kau i he kau helo i he taui o a voice of the voiceless. Pe ko defend the defenseless. Pena pehereva John Paul II ko malo hi e Amerika o kui kai ke fua tau aki ia ai ngai fonua o ke ikuna. Ka ku fua aki ia ai lahi o ngahi mo ui o ku ke whakahauwhi. Pea hoko tuai ni tala noa whekau aki pea moe whakatōtama. Pea koe tāmate mo ui ki manawa. Nē kau ia, ko ne ulua ke ahi eni ki Amerikani pa ne rea ai ki Bill Clinton, pea mo Amerikani. Ko hinga ku ato mea koni hoek maka inga, ko e Palestini koni hetai mini, Joe Biden. O ku ne tala ko e Katolika, i he toka te nine Katolika, o ku whima ke malu i ai mo ui, defend lives. Bill ko Joe Biden, o ku ikai kene hanga e ia, o poupou i a defend o lives. O ku ne poupou i e ia, a pro-choice. Pe ko to tonu e whewhine he kohono sino. Opposite o pito ia mi he mea ko eni o ku a ko i he toka te rine o ku ne boast about every time. I am a Catholic. I am a strong Catholic. You are not. Ko e toka te rine Katolika, you don't pick and choose. You either take all or leave all. O kai te ke piki pe koe o te uto o pe ai ka whaaki koe kai tuku ai abortion. You either take all, teaching, pe koe leave all. Koe ke hami ia koe, pick and choose what do you like. Koe toka terine, you either believe it or leave it. Ka kehe koe taha ia o ne kouti pia mei he John Paul II. John Paul II na ni hanga whaka auha ai communist. Joe Biden, he invite ai communist. Ko hae uhinga ki ai. Ko uhinga ki ai. Ko mea konu taulo tonga fō atu ai. Kono ngai whakailonga ai ni ho eki makainga. Big government. Ko e whakailonga ia o e whainga ke control. Big government. Ko e ua whakailonga ki ai ho eki makainga. Let people suffer. When people suffer, they depend on the government. And when they depend on the government, that's when the government control them. Koe taimi koe ako suffer e kakai. Koe taimi ako ni koe te nau kore tokoni ai pia me he pure anga. Pia aku fia e pure anga ai a tau te fito ki he kuonga koe ni o e whinga ke pure mau mawhai. Pure mau mawhai i he kuonga koe ni. Koe ngahi toonga ia ai komunisi. Toonga komunisi uluaki ke control a kakai. Kapate mo whakatonga he ngahi mea lahi Amerikani. Nau whenga i ke control. Kono ua mea na rea ki ai a Joe Biden. Whikau aki pia mo freedom of speech. That's another loi. Koe freedom of speech Amerikani ko kamata ia ke breakdown. Ko monopolize pe ai pure ia what we believe he taimini. Koe ngahi mea koe a koe o ku kehe me he mea koe o ku nauhanga tuaki mai. Pea ku nauhanga rewa nau tolu o ngau e aki ai big tech. Ke censor pe ko hono remove ai kakai ko ia o ku kehe e nau tui. Pea ku kai rewa ke uia koe freedom of speech. O ku ia koe monopolize. Pe koe whakawhaka itaha pe. Koe toonga ia ai communist. John Paul II and hanga whaka auha communist. Joe Biden inviting the communist. O lotonga lue atuai Amerikani he taimini. Pea ka pau he kai ke tau tokanga. Wangi ko ngai polokalama na whakatokanga tu ki mua. Te tau toki whakatokanga i hake pe. We become communist. O tau lotonga lue atu is socialism. Pea ukamata ke unu mai pea mo e whahinga toka te rine ko ia cancel culture. Unu mai pea mo e whahinga toka te rine ko ia o e Marxism pe koe. Tamatei pe kono whaka auha mo ui whaka whamiri. Koe ngahi toonga ni koe ko hono kini pe kono whaka maala atu ai hala ke fōma iau tau iku ki he communism. Oku puri ai anga o ne ngawe kau whemau ki tau whakatoka ngai ki mua e ne hoko mai. Koe taha oe mea na ere ake Joe Biden he ahoni. Whikawaki pia mo ene total boast about a tokoni ko ia ki Ukraine. Tokoni ki he ngahi military supplies. Behe na ku America send loads and loads of military supply ki Ukraine. Na ku whakamatala atu ki mua, ko ngahi supply ko eni, ko ngahi mea na ota ia e Trump. Ke deliver i he wafe huataha. Pako taimi ko na hoko mai ai a Joe Biden bane hanga e ia o ta ofi. He stopped. Ai ngahi mea ko eni. Pe he tami koe na hoko ai koe ai invade ko ia Lucia ko ia Ukraine. Pa ne toki hanga rewa o seni ai umea ko eni. Na o stotonu ia ke kamata ko ia invasion ko ia koe Lucia Ukraine os iai ai ngahi lotia ko eni o Stinger missile ba mo Javelin missile. Ko ngahi mea eni na me aonga upito ia i he kamata mai pe ko tau. Kana kai ke ship ia Joe Biden. O si ota, o si mau ke ship i he wafi wataha. Taimi koe na hu mai ai Joe Biden i he wafi ua taha. Pane whekau, no, don't ship it, stop it. Pia koe uhinga ia koe ni koe o lau kau takitau, nau pehe. Kapau na tuange pea ke ship ia mea koe ni. Pia mahino mai mahalo na ilolahi ange pe Trump. Kana toki ship ia ko oska mata ai invade koe ni Lucia Ukraine. Sai ko mea taha na lave ki ai Joe Biden i he nerea koe ni koe he ahoni. Ko nerea na pe he most of you didn't believe when I say Russia is going to cross into Ukraine. Nane tu oua nerea aki. Most of you didn't believe when I said Russia is going to cross the border of Ukraine. Koe mea lewa koe o whai kia whakaukau ho eki mai kainga. O kune hanga pe ia o si pela mai ai maulalo ene taki. Ene tala mai na ostalatu peka mautolu hu Lucia ki Ukraine. Koe tangi lau ia mo whaka anaua na whai ko ia Zelensky. Whaka anaua ko Zelensky na whaka amu pe na mo whaka hoko ahead of time ki mua ai hu mai a Lucia. A hono sanction ko ia o Lucia. Maybe he would think twice about it. Ko lea eni a Zelensky. Hau ek mo ka inga, wei ko harea ako. Hange haane lament. Ano whakarea ia, he was lamented. I wish you did the sanction before Russia invade Ukraine. Ayona ni whakarea o pehe. Maybe Putin would think twice about invading Ukraine. Ko lamentation en be ko lamented en Zelensky. Whekauaki mo ni whakaarnaua peheangi mai na mo ngau e mai o whai a sanction ki mua. Pea koe kaumatao i he malai o tau na nau pehe. Koe taimi ko ia na iloai Joe Biden kolosi a Lucia he pota pe invade Lucia he pota. Foi taimi to tonu ia na to tonu ke whai ai sanction. Mahina ia taha pe more than 1 month before. Mantui na ulo ki hau a Lucia ia o nau kamata apitanga i he kau a whanua ko ia o Lucia pea mo Ukraine. Nau osi apitanga i nau dolo. Ki mua ia he mahina taha pe toki invade ko ia Lucia. Pea nau tānaki mai e nau kautau o hau whaka aho pe koe toko tahawhe, koe toko ni maafe, koe toko tahakilu, mo alu atu pe e nau ume atau. Pea toki rea aki Joe Biden he ahoni. Most of you didn't believe me when I said Russia is going to cross the border into Ukraine. Koe whehu i piko hame na kai ne whai ai a sanction he taimi ko ia. He kuhanga he ne whakamatala ai maulalo a ene taki. Peko uhinga koe whakarea pe he koe ne rea koe he ahoni i just a barking dog. Peko whukapa awa. Kai kia hafo i mo oni a taha. Peko pana mo whanongo i he ene rea, it's the same thing koe whakairifia kia Putin. Kau koe kin hanga ia talai koe ha ene mea e whai. Une pehe pe e ia whakaamu pe hei kai ke whakakau Putin ke ne hanga o alasi ha foi inisi kere e ta 1 inch o e NATO. Mo ilo mea kuhe atamai ko ia koe o Zelensky. How about 1 inch of my land? Ai au tokanga pe ia ki he foi laini ko ia koe o kune kau afonua ko ia o Ukraine pia mo e NATO. Ai ko Polani mga whetu ko ia. Pia koe rea ia koe a Joe Biden. If Putin is smart, he kai ke whakakaukau because this is a sacred place. Pau tau whakakau atu pe ki he mea ko ia o kui atamai o Zelensky. Lolotonga ene sio ki he mate hono kakai. O kulea e Palestini. Ka ala a Putin even 1 inch lea ia Palestini. Even 1 inch. E sio rewa ki he mea e hoko. O kuni hanga pe ia whakakau mai NATO. E sio rewa ki he mea e whai ehe NATO ki ai. Pa koe kin hanga ia tuku mai hati teila. Koe hae mea e whai ka pau. Koe red line e kolosi ai ngai whanua ko ni it's a same old story. Koe taha o ene lea nai whai ho ik makainga. Pau whakatoka ngā i ai. Koe tangata ko ni koe tangata o ku loi. Loi lahi. Ka pana mo whakatoka ngā i he ngahi ongo aho taha pe ua ki mua. Nai whehu ia he kau whai ongo pe koe haa ene lau e uesia. Ia ene ngau e Putin i he sanction ko ni oku whai. Pe taimi koe na whehu ia tuai ki ai. Pe talange e Joe Biden, na kai ki hakurea pehe, na kai ki uhinga au ki ai. Ka taimi koe na rewind ni ai ngahi tapes o NRA. That's exactly what he said. And that's exactly what administration ana, press secretary, ko secretary of state, pia pehe ki he vice president Kamala Harris, na urea aki, repeat e mea tatau na rea aki e Joe Biden. Kue ne uesia, koe tau mua ke uesia, ai pe koe ngau e whakaukau a Putin. Pe koe ne rea koe ne whai ke kau whai o ngongo. O te mou mauhala ne te kai ke rea ka mea pehe. O mou whai ai loi, ka nana hanga koe o tau replay ko ia, ai fwoi tepi ko ia, and that's exactly what he said. And that's exactly what his administration said. Pea o kumahino mai rewa o ikai ke lea mooni. Nei pepe mo e mea tatau ki mua i he tola e whakilu ki he whamiri. Kolosi ko ia pia me aikoni koe na pehe na tuku nau tolu i he whankita maiki ko ia na tuku i he gauges. na ne pehe tola e whaakilu ke whaamiri. Pe ko taimi koe na e whehu ia tuai, na ne kalo mamahi na kai ke hakurea pehe. I he ahoni na ne ngau ke rea ko e nipa na uhanga o whanongo ke ne rea, o ku fuilonga pito ai loia ai Palestini. O lua ki, i he kamata koia ne rea, before his speech na ne lea pe i he ne, i hano whakaike eke atu e kau whaiongongo. Pea nane pehe, na ku hau o sio ki he whankita mai ki, toko lahe nau tolna nau eke mai, ki au, can you pray for my mom, can you pray for my dad, o alo tau, can you pray for my brother? Pea i he taimi koni koe na e hau e koni koe whai e nerea, na e kehe ia me he mea koe na ne whakamatala, i hono whakaike eke he kau whai niusi. I he nerea koe i he ahoni he ne speech, formal speech. Nā ne pehe na aku hau pe au sio ke whanki tamai ki. Ulua ki nā ne pehe, na now they ask me, is my dad gonna be okay? It's my brother is gonna be okay. Okay he ia me he ne rea koe ki muana ne pehe, can you pray for my dad? Can you pray for my brother? Pea hiri pe ko ia ne rea ko ia pane, foi se te si hoko pe. Na ne pehe. These kids, they even kake nau rea whakapālangi. Ka hiri ko ia na ne hanga whakamatala na eke he whankita mai ki ai whekau aki mue nau tamai. Foi se te si hoko pe na ne pehe, even these kids, they don't speak English, but you can see and understand in their faces. Hiri ia e ne tala na e. Rea ange pia whehu i ange whankita mai ki ai. Hoi mo ka inga, o kui kai ko hatoki mea peeni o ku hoko pia. O ku tau whakaamu ko toa pe ke successful ani ngawe, pia malo Amerikani. But so far, fulahi a ene, koe foi lea he ahoni hoi mo ka inga, ki he toko lahi, it's just a show. It's just a show. Koe foi ai bege asi ki mamani o ku lea fefeka. Ka koe taimi koe o whakamau i ai e detaila o ne meana. He didn't detail anything. It's the same thing. Koe whakatokanga pe ki Putin. Na ne uia Putin he ahoni koe butcher. He's a butcher. Pea ne pehe koe taki koe ni koe ke aonga ia ke ne ke stay in power. Peka pau ne pehe o koe ke whia o ke stay in power. Koe hae ne uhinga ki ai. Ke to o ia pia me he Palestini, and who's gonna do it? Ko haiten hanga to o a Putin. O ku mahino mai pe i he mea koe o ku hoko koe ia i he ahani. O ku kai ke iri whia mai a Putin ki ai. Hange koe na whakamatala tuka ane nai koe, a teki koe ia koe o Lviv, ai koe na whakahoko atu i he mape. A teki koe a Lviv, koe whakamui taha i he, au tuka te mape. Lviv, mo seo mai ki Lviv, i he konga kona koe o Ukraine ta whaaki ki he lanpulu ko Lvivia. U whakafufua koe maire hongo fulu pia me he pota. Pia koe maire nima. Na i kai ke nau a teke na tole whitu ko e ni e Lucia. Ka koe fui taimi koe na iai Palestini, pana na hanga rewa a teki ane po. O kumahino mai, they sent a message. E Putin ki he Palestino Amerikani. Ulua ki pe, o koe ke urifia atu au. O koe ke urifia atu he taimi o kei heni ai. Koe ofi taha eni ho ekmo ka inga ki Polani. Polani na i o kulotonga i ai Palestini. Koe ofi taha eni ta whai ko ia pia me Ukraine ki Polani ko Lviv. Ko ia na e ateki ko ia e Lucia. Pia koe ateki ko ni na e kohu tuu na nau pehe koe ko fe tu ko anga lolo pe ko refinery na vela pe toki confirm mai ia na ateki pe ia Lucia fe tu ko eni ai ok mahino mai kapau na kai ke na ateki I hinga taimi koe tu taha pe na ateki ai fai anga ko tau ko ia koe na ia ka o sotia Amerika pe talu pe me ia te kai na to attack ko na toki ateki en taimi ko ia Palestino Amerikani ai mahino mai o ia message na fe ma ke send mai kia Joe Biden ai ko message ko fe ma send mai ka Joe Biden o 2 week full week au pito pe o kai ke respect mai ia Lucia koe taha o ene rea na fai I he ahoni koe mea ufa asi mau pe he ne rea mo tolu ke mo na mo fa fanonga ki mua tu o lahi ene ngau ake rea na ene ngau ake little kids they love to come and rub my leg the hair in my leg they love to rub and they love to sit on my lap oku ne faare ake ume akoya but ki he kakaia it doesn't sound right henere akoya he ahoni ulua ki pe na ne pehe na kore ang he fangita mai ki pray for my dad pray for my brother pe henere akoya ko hene formal speech na ne pehe ko eke ang fangita mai ki is my dad gonna be okay is my brother gonna be okay okay he me ko na ne ulak fa matala pe hiri foi se te si pe hono hoko na ne pe these kids they don't speak English but I could tell in their faces ko ne fa matala na eke ang he kaure ka Uluakina kore ang he fangita mai ki pray for my dad pray for my brother kunerea ko ya ko hene speech ke heia na kai ke kore ang ke pray na kore ang is my dad gonna be okay is my brother gonna be okay pe foi se te si pe no hoko even ko fangita mai ki ko ni they don't speak English but I could tell in their faces Una si pela mai pe hoi mo kainga he doesn't understand what he's talking about okay kin hanga mahino enerea kene iloi oku contradict ene ulaksete si mo sete si hono wa mo sete si hono tolu oi mo kainga ko me apango ko fainga mari na totonu ke ko rea pe kona ne fai hono ene pe Putin he's a butcher He's a butcher. Butcher, pe lere akireva he kau mainstream media. A new name. Whakahingoa aki a Putin Joe Biden. Ko hingoa ia koe ni na whakahingoa aki tangata ko ia koe na ne hanga o whakotuu a hono whana mo hono strike mo mea koni na hoko I Mario Paul. Mario Paul ka hanga ki so wa te mape hoi kuma kainga ka pate mo sio mai ke mape ko ia ko hono hoko Mario Paul I heta whaki ko ia koe south east o Ukraine o ki ai a Mario Paul wau mo mea mai ki arrow kona ko hanga o sekolo atu I Mario Paul o ko ia a whare whaiva na tohi ai I tua Jiren inside pe koe fangi whanau I loto koe tangata ko ni koe na takitau I he feitu koe ni ko Mario Paul ko ia na ne hanga ko ia o whekau ke whana ai tutu ni ko ia ke ateki ai whare whaiva ko ni neongo na tohi mata I tua whakalusia tohi whakalusia ni Jiren inside tutu ni rewa he takitau ia ko ni ke pom. Takitau ko ni na ne tutuuni ke pomu pea mo whare mahaki. I he ngahi ata na aku whaamu ke so atu i he ahoni ka o tui koe ki ha taimi, te toki o atu i he ahamoni te. Ka koe, ata koe ia koe whare mahaki, psychiatric hospital pe koe whare mahaki ki he kakai o paloparema whakaata mai. Na e pomu ai whare mahaki o ni. Aia koe wheitu koe ni ko Mario Paul. Mario Paul ai koe ni koe nao kanga so atu pe koe maho inga koe atu koe ia ma peke mo mea mai ki ai ke lava peke. Mario Paul i he tawhaaki koe ni koe whaka i site Southeast pe koe konga ki lalo o Ukraine ka he tawhaaki koe ia ki Lucia. Tawhaaki ki lalo ka he tawhaaki to o matau Southeast of Ukraine. Aia ko tawhaaki whaka West ia o Lucia. O koe e wheitu ko Mario Paul. Mario Paul koe wheitu ueni na e lahi hono pomu pea mohono si i whaka auha ko ia e he kautau a Lucia. Ka koe takitau ko ni koe ai tangata koe ni na e hui ko Butcher Man. Na e whakahingoa ia e he kau whaiongo ko Butcher Man. Ko hinga hana kai ki toi kea ia ke mo uia kakai. Civilian mo e ngahi apiako, ngahi whare mahaki. Ko tangata e koe nina ne hanga o tu uni ke whakaauha. Pia ono oho osi ko ia koe hono whakaauha. Pia nau hanga rewa o tu usia hala whakawakawa ke isolate. Ke una toi huu mai hangahi tokoni, whakamea tokoni. Pia huu mai muha tokoni whare mahaki. Inu moe vai moe ngahi mea whakawhare mahaki. Hanga ia tu usi ai main bridge ko ia koe o kune hanga whakahoko atu. Aia koe tuu ko ia koe Mario Paul. O ku very isolated ia me he toenga ko ia koe o Ukraine. O koe ki to iai hala ia ke lava ke au atu ai tokoni ki Mario Paul. Aia o ku safa aia ka kai toko lahi una fua ke toko tahakilu tupu. They are trapped in Mario Paul. Kai ngata pe ai mate ka civilians ikai ke iai ha toi hala atu ki ai ke whai ha tokoni ki he kakai koe ni. Ka koe tangata koe ni na takitau koe ai na e hui ia e he kau tau me kau whai niusi ko Butcher Man. Butcher Man koe ia na e hui aki koe e Joe Biden Putin. O kui kai ko hingoa na toki whakahingoa e Joe Biden. Ka koe hingoa, na whakahingoa ake a takitau koe ngā koe fuu. Whakapāperi ane ai ne tutu uni. Koe tangata takitau koe ia hau eki moe ka inga, koe ku whakaofi pe ki he tangata koe ia. O ku ukaike na toi kehe, moe tangata koe ni koe na e drone Trump. Tangata koe na drone Trump koe tangata taki he kau terrorist i Iran ko Soleimani. Na e hanga e Trump o whanai i hene whakangofua mai authorized i he kau Intel. Ko ne hifo mai mihe mo wakapuna, pa ko ne lere mai ko i he ka i he tua malai wakapuna na e whanai ai ka ko ni o mate ai tangata taki ko ni nima o $8 ko ia o Iran. Pea ko tangata ko ia ko ofi tahaini. Ai tangata ko na takitau ko ia i Mario Paul. Ai na ne tu uni ke whana pea whaka auha ko ia kakai o au ki whangi whanau iki o au ki he whare mahaki na mo mea mai he ngahi atana o atu lolotonga in leipa ko ia si kakai nau lolotonga i he loki ko ia wha elehu whanga whakatapu na e pomu e whare mahaki. Pea whai hono whe tuku mai ko ia kakai ko eni na mo mea peki ai na e mo e whewhine na ne lolotonga wheitama na hanga o fua mai i he mea whata. I aha pe hono hoko na whakahoko mai ai whewhine ko eni na whakaasi mai mo e whewhine na e whata mai ko niu ke mo ui. aho pe hono hoko na whakahoko mai kone si mate. Ae koe mate koe na uesia au pito i he no pomu kone whare mahaki. Pea koe ngā ue ia tangata ko eni, taki tau ko eni a Lucia. Pea oku una ulunganga ta tau, pea mo tangata ko ni koe ko Soleimani. Mana tu ina to ko ia trauma Soleimani, ano whana i koe hatu amalai wakapuna. Pea longoa ai kakai mo pehe e hoko e taulahi ono tolu. Koe na uirifia ki Iran. I hono to'o e tangata taki tau whika uluaki ko ia nima to'o matao e ai atola ko ia o Iran. Kai ki hamea e hoko. Ko e tangata koe ni o nanihanga o whai hono whakamamahi o e kau Mario Paul. Ai ako ni koe na o whaka asi atu ai ata koe ni. O kui ki toi ke he mo tangata koe ni. Ka koe mea koe ia koe o ku whakalolo maho e ki mo e ka inga. Koe whanongo mai a Zelensky a Palestini ko ia Ukraine. Ki herea e Palestini ko Amerikani. Ke oua na whakakau a Lucia pe ko Putin ki hafoi inisi kere e taha o e NATO ke ala ki ai. Pe ulava peke te sio loto atu ki whakakau ko ia ai Palestini o Ukraine. How about an inch i he kere o Ukraine? Koe ke mo lava ai o tifeni a hoku whonua mo hoku kakai. Ka mo tari peke toki ala mai a Lucia ki heki inisi e taha. Pea fia lau pea e ne tangi lau. Whakamuange pe tau mai a na e lava ke mo whakahoko a sanction. Ki mua a invade ko ia e Lucia a Ukraine. Pea Asia he lea ko ia a Joe Biden he ahoni. O kuni hanga peo si pela mai ene tae maa usia. Pa moe vai o ene taki. Exactly same thing happened ko ena hoko ko ia i Afghanistan. Same thing. Ka hono kehe pe mo Afghanistan na e lere taki a Afghanistan. Ukraine na tupe taki o Ukraine. Fight. Moe tangi pa ko ene tangi lau ia. Pehe ange maina mo lava o whakahoko a sanction ki mu a invade ko ia. Ko rea ko ia Palestini he ahoni une si pela mai pe. Ai fo idea ko e so dumb. Very dumb. Hoik mo kainga. Ko ene rea nai pehe. Most of you didn't believe when I said Russia is going to cross the border. Ko Lucia te nau kolosi he pota. Nau ostalatu ka muutolo e mea ko ia e kolosi a Lucia. Kana e tuu beia me ta whaaki me sideline and watch. Ai kolosi ko ia Lucia. Pea tuu beia me sideline ni and watch. Ai tamate i o kakai. Pea tuu beia me sideline ni o watch. Ko teimi koe na tangi atu ai koe a Zelensky. Ofa mai o tapuni. Close the sky. Kone uhi ngā ta ofi a ngai wakapuna e nau puna whai te ria halo hono. Pomu hoku whonua. Pomu hoku kakai. Musio mai ki he fola e mate. Kone tangia na e whai mai. Ki Amerikani. Pea ofa ia Polani. Tahangi iyo. We are willing ke mahanga seni atu. Ai wakapuna fighter jets e waono. Ke ting mautolu Ukraine. Wongo ho mautangi. Ongo ho mautangi. Ko mia pente mau lava. Mahanga seni atu ka mautolu. As long ke maupuna ai o close the sky. Pea tuutuni atu ia. Pea mea Joe Biden. Mo manatui oku go Amerikani ko e taki ia i he free world. Ai ko free world ko ngai whonua demokalati. Oku nau kau toki ai pa ko taki a Amerikani. Ai ko taki ko Amerikani ko Joe Biden. Pa unau whakaongongo mai rewa ki Joe Biden. Osi a ene tu he sideline your watch and have the guts ke lea he ahoni
o dalange. Most of you didn't believe when I say Russia is going to cross the border. Tokalahe mo na kai ke mo tui mo tolu ke utalatu ko ia e kolosia Lucia i he pota. Na kai ke mo tui. Ko mea pe una sipela mai ai hoi mo ka inga. STUPID. Stupid. Ho fanga whakatapu. Hunga ko whaka ilonga ia o vai o ene takina ene whai i Afghanistan. But I was pehe kai, I hope he's not going to do it in Ukraine. He's doing it again. Kene tu o lea kai whanongo atu a Zelensky. Mo manui no whakahoka atu ane afi, a ene lamented ko ia a Zelensky. Opposite mo mea ko ni ko ufai e Joe Biden. Whaka anau ako a Zelensky. Tau mai ana e lava ke mo whakahoko a sanction ko ni ahead of time. Na os ilo ia Amerikani, mahina e taha pe more than 1 month before invasion. Pea whakamo oni a kia e rea ko ia a Joe Biden e ahoni. Tokolahe mo tōna mo whanongo, pana mo ta e tui ke upehe atu. E kolosi a Lucia, os ilo pe e ia. But he did nothing. Peka pao na ni hanga pea whakango fua, a lot na e authorize pea ota e Trump, na e osi Ukraine ia i he nima o Zelensky ke whai aki kamata ki ene tau. But no, he stopped 3 loads ko ini. Loads of Stinger missile, moe Javelin missiles. Ngai misaila na ui ko Stinger, pea mo ngai misaila na ui ko Javelin ko e anti-tank. Whakangofua ia he tamakoe, une ilo i e aonga, ta ofia he tamakoe. And then osi a ene whaie fo i ngau e pango, pe ha uleva o lea he ahoni. Most of you didn't believe when I say e kolosia Lucia. But I asi beha no whaka eke. When are you going to sanction Lucia? Fo i taimi ko ni ho eke mo kainga o ke whakapaanga pe Amerikani a Lucia. I he lolo ko ia a Lucia. Fo i taimi kena o stone ke ta ofi a lolo a Lucia mo aveha peni uri e taha ki Lucia. Ko i taimi ko na totonu ke whakahoko ai a sanction. O hange ko e tangi lau po ko lament ko ia a Zelensky. Kau mai ana e lava ke mo whakahoko ahead of time. Ko hunga ko ne sio ke mate hono kakai. Ka mauna mo whakahoko e mea ko ia, maybe a thing twice ia put in. Pakono mo nia ka mauna na hanga whakahoko e sanction he taimi ko ia, tautou eke atu ki ai kai longope. Pe toki ofi ko ia koe, ne os ilo pe e ia, e kolosia Lucia. Pe koe ofi koe ki taimi koe apa ne toki pehe, when they invade Ukraine. Ko hau tari aki to invade. Pe taimi koe osia invasion, kamata invade, mate kakai, tuumbe sideline o kei siope. Hala ke ta ofi ai lolo, kei whakapaanga pe lolo Lucia. Toki osia mahina e taha ho e kumakainga. Taimi koe na toki hou mai ai u whonua, Britania, mga whonua kai au whakahoko na sanction, ta ofi mo mea kotoa pe o whakatau pe me Lucia, pe toki ta ofi leva. Kou talaki atu, o keiki to whakatau lolo a Amerika pe me Lucia. E toki ta ofi ko osi mo vete a Ukraine, more mo mate mo futau lawafe. Koe message ko ni koe na seni e Putin ki a Biden. You are so weak. And I don't afraid of you. Pe kono whamoni ben te hanga pomo, maire nima me mea o ke iai. Ke whakamahino o ke a koe, I don't give a damn. Oku uhinga pe e palo parema e aho niho iku me kainga. Ko e taki o e whonuani. Is so weak. whakaofa e lament mo e tangi laulaua Zelensky. Tau mai ia mamani. Ko ne ulaki rea pe a koe nai whai I hene address mai koe ki mamani. The world is late. The world is late. Pa mo whakamo ni I ai, e mea kone koe rea koe ki ai. Na e tari, ka mo manatui, o whakaongo mamani ki a Joe Biden, he koe taki o e free world, na whakaongo mai ki ai. Kai pango, una whakaongo mai na tolu ki he tangata o ku very slow. Whakaongo mai na tolu, ka koe tari koe lea koe a Zelensky. The world is late. Kono ngaha os kamata po muia a Lucia I Ukraine. Ka kei hanga ke he pe a Joe Biden ia, mo e kei ave pe pa anga ki he lolo ko ia a Lucia. Tala atu he kautaki I Amerikani. Stop wa lolo, ta off ya lolo o te whakapaanga Lucia. No, he keep going. Au ki he Osia wike ua, auri hano wike tolu, he finally realized koe paanga koe nuku o atu koe ki he lolo. Isn't he that dumb? Paanga koe nuku atu ki he lolo, ko ia o whai aki hano tamatei. O si kakai Ukraine. Patu ki whai ene lament koe ni ane afi. Tauma ia. Ko te whakaana ua, koe ngai mo uia koe ni, na kai ke totonu ke more. E ne sio ki he tanu hono kakai laku he luo. Movete mo ngai whaamiri. Kumi hufanga ngai whaamiri he ngai whanua ke heke. Na kai ke tonu ke hoko e mea ia ko ia. I he whakakaukau a Zelensky. Na kai ke tonu ke hoko e mea ko ia. Kai pango ko tō mui ko auhai whanua. Ko auhai whanua lahi mo mate. It's not going to be the same. Koe mo uia kakai koe ni, you'll never be the same for the rest of their lives. O au ke whangi whanau nau si o tonu he tau. It's a fact. Their lives. I he toinga e nau mo ui. Koe hao no ohinga, because the world is late. The world we're sleeping. The world we're sleeping. Kono ohinga koe taki o free world is sleeping. Tau whema whakamea pango ia. I he ngahi mo ui o kumore. Kai hange koe lau ko ia a Zelensky. Tau mai ana mo whakahoko a sanction ki mua. He nai osi ilo pe ia Joe Biden na nerea ake a honi. Pe koe mea koe ke I can't believe you have the guts to say that. Most of you didn't believe when I said Russia is going to cross the border. Ko ne rea ia he ahoni. Pia koe kakai koe ni koe who wrote his speech are so dumb too. Nau osi ilo pe e ki nau tolu. Koe taimi koe ia koe te nau tohi ai a speech koe ni Palestini. Koe taimi pe te ne puaki atu ai. Koe whakaukau koe ia Zelensky. What a dumb leader. Pau mo ni pe ne lau. Na kai ki tonu ke hoko e mea koe ni. Tau mai ana muhanga whakahoko e sanction. Osi ilo ia e taki ko Amerikani. Osi ilo ia. I he nerea koe. Tola mo tonu na kai ke motui motor ke utalatu. E kolosi a Lucia. Na kai ke motui ke utalatu. Na osi ilo e au. But why didn't you do anything? Sleepyhead? Why didn't you do anything? Si more ai mo uia ka kai koe ni. One life matter. Ka koe ngahi mo uia lauafe koe ni o kumore. Ka ke lau pe ke mo uia o kumore. Ka koe mo vete ngai whaamiri. Mau e ngai whaamiri. Mo vete alua te whahinga ke whanua koe. Alua te whahinga ke whanua koe. Ka mo iloi. Koe ngonga koe ni o mai. O ku nau whakaamu pe. Ke nau toi foki pe ki Ukraine. I he hirian koe ni a tau. Nau loto pe ke nau toi hanga rebuild. Aho nau whanua. Koe whanua ia na nau tupu ai. Koe whanua ia kui ai ho nau mafu. Whanua ia ne tanu ai ho nau uho. Whanua ia koe tuku anga ia o e nau manatu. They don't want to move away. Meneonga tala atu ai mahu Amerikani. Tokolahe nau toria nau whakawhisi koe ki nau whihau ki Amerikani. Koe ki loi paka no uhinga. Ka koe ki nau loto ke nau alu o fu mamao pe me Ukraine. Una loto ke nau ofi pe. Ko vepe tai me osi ai tau nau foki. Nau foki pe ki Ukraine o langa ho nau fonua. Pe koe ki pare pe e langa he ko au hai fonua. Nau loto ke nau foki pe o toi langa. Kakai loto lahi. Kakai very optimistic. Kakai very hopeful. Tai miniu nau tui pe nau tau te nau ikuna e tau. And of course te nau ikuna. Ka koe pango e mea ko e ni. Na e osto tonu pe ke oua e hoko e tau ko e ni. Lotonga ko ia na os ilo pe ia he takio Amerikani e hoko. But he did nothing. Toki whai e tangi lau a Zelensky. Tau mai a na e lava ke mo whakahoko e mea ko e ni. Ahead of time. E koe aho koe na ne loki rea mai ai ki mamani. The world is late. Kono uhinga e ne uhinga. Na e no fo tari. Pia no fo tari o no fo tari. Ko a whee e whakahoko e sanction. Kono uhinga ke avoid te hoko e mea koe ni ki hono kakai. But it's too late. The world is late. Mo tō mui mai. Ko kamata whakaauhai a hoko kakai. Pia neongo e seni atu mo e boast about a Amerikani. Ngahi mea mau seni ki Ukraine. Tō mui is too late. Pia neongo aunga ke whai ake tau. Kana stonu pe ke ue whai ha tau. Ka bauna e tonu e taki ko ia Amerikani. Hoi ka mai kainga. O da wongo ia opito. Ai mea koni hoko. Ka ke he whakamlemore te tingu motolo ko hinga ko e taimi. Ka tu mua ke hoko mai ai Pome Sisters. Pea mo e polokalama ko ia. Ai Youth Hour. Ko ngā koe nau guest ki honi. Ko e toke tā. Ke nau whakai ke atu. Ko re whakamlemore atu. Ka pana ia ha ngahi lea. Tai whi unga pea moho mou. Me aho e kume kainga. Mamahi o kuloto. Mamahi o kuloto koe sio ki he. Mate a kakai. Movete whamiri. It could have been prevented. Ka bona koe take o Amerikani. Na ne whaiha mea. I he ngahi mahina. He knew it ahead of time. He knew it way before the invasion. But he stood on the side and wait. Te toki huu ko ia a Lucia o invade ko ia a Ukraine. Pako ulaki whakawhita ulaki pe a Zelensky. The world is late. Pe toki vaya and the lament a ne awhi tau mai a na lava ki whakahoko e mea koe ni. Way before. Mahina taha more than 1 month. Ka paune whakahoko maybe put in to think twice about doing this. Me hao e mo uia kakai, hao e whanua. But the leader is so weak. Ko ia koe Pome Sisters tēnā hoko mai e taimini, pēa te utoki he ni he moni te, ke whakahoko atua e tau polokalama. Pau ofalahi atu te motolo, whakatawang ke mo mau hau ike eni, fia, pēa mo tāpua ki moni i he ahoni. Pau se Miss Pome, pēa me Los Angeles.
Check. Check. Check.
Check. Check.
Malaitanga.
Talofa lava Samoa. Kia ora, New Zealand. Ulavi naka, Fiji.
Aloha Hawaii.
And hello, America. My name is Marie Pome'e.
My name is Salote Anaseni Pome'e.
And my name is Polina Kitarita Pome'e.
And welcome to Wake Talifolau Youth Hour. Thank you everyone for watching our program today. Today we'll be having program with Dr. Tomasi Halaaki. And we just want to say thank you to Dr. Afapalu for bringing Dr. Tomasi onto our program today. And we're going to play a song before we start our program. we're going to be having program with Dr. Tomasi. Can you hear us? Oh, wait, I think you're on mute.
I am. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Okay. Before we start our program, we just want to say thank you for taking the time for letting us interview today. And we would also like to introduce ourselves before we start. My name is Marie Pomete.
My name is Salote Pome'e.
And my name is Polina Pome'e.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Tom Halak, or sometimes people in Tonga call me Halaki.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my Tongan name.
Well, thank you, Dr. Halaki, for joining our program today. And we have a few questions to ask you today. And yeah, so I'll start. And
Okay.
my first question is, does learning stop when you get a doctor's or master's degree?
So the short question is no, or the short answer. The long answer, I will tell you a little bit about myself in my educational journey. And I know there's a question coming up later about that, but I never had plans to get a doctoral degree. My high school performance was less than stellar. My grades weren't great, but I went on to college, and even in my bachelor's degree, my grades were not great. When I got to my master's degree, I finally told my parents, I have a GPA now that I can be proud of. But I got into my doctoral degree kind of by accident, but it was, I think, really not. We'll learn more about that, I hope, later in the interview. But one of the things that we hear often in higher education, especially college, and especially as you go on to advanced degrees, is they're planting the seeds for lifelong learning. And so as we learn to be learners. And that's really what that doctoral degree indicates, is that I've learned to be a learner, which means I hopefully am questioning things and constantly looking for ways to learn and new information to gather. And the more I learn, the more I recognize that I have to learn.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. My sister will ask you the next question.
Okay.
Hi, my question for you is, who has taught you a lot in your life?
That's a hard question, because I've had so many people that have taught me a lot in my life. I have had many people that I would call mentors and leaders. Some of those leaders are people in school, teachers. Some have been leaders in church. Some have been leaders in my community. I've been very blessed to have many, many people in my life that have taught me something, but I have a particular respect for my major professor when I was getting my bachelor's degree, and primarily because I was focused on content that was going to help me in my career, and he helped me a great deal. His name was Bob Sink, and I have a great deal of respect for him. So he was one person I would point towards.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. My sister will ask you the next question.
My question for you is, some people feel the education style of schools damages originality and creativity. What do you think?
So I think that's a tough question. Good question. I think that I can see how some people might see that, but I think one of the things that our schools are designed to teach is foundational knowledge. We need to, just like when we're building a house, right? We have to have a strong foundation at the bottom, in order to build any kind of a house or other building. And so that's really the purpose of our schools, especially our primary and secondary schools. The design is to lay that foundation. As we have a solid foundation, then we can go on and do all sorts of things with that. I heard a term recently that I really, really like. And it was the phrase was creativity with discipline. And I think that's an important thing that we need to have as we work to be creative in whatever it is, art, in music, performance, or even technology or many other career paths. As we work to be creative, we have to be creative with discipline. And I think our school systems are really designed to teach students that discipline part. And so as we work to be creative, don't ever let go of creativity. I love creativity. And I consider myself a creative person, but it has to be creativity with discipline. And we learn that discipline through our school systems.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki, for sharing your opinion. My next question is, what is your doctorate degree in, or your doctor field, and what made you get a doctor's degree?
Okay, so I told you a little bit earlier about my educational journey. My doctoral degree is in higher education leadership with an emphasis in instructional design. And that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of people. But basically it's through it's a focus on education and focus on both leading in educational circles and also in designing curriculum, designing the way information is taught. And the way I fell into that, I got a job years ago at a university, and they hired me just for 1 year. And I really liked the job and I wanted to stay there. And they brought in many other candidates and interviewed them. And I was really nervous during that time because I knew that I really wanted this job, but I didn't have a doctoral degree like many of the other candidates that they brought in. And I knew that was going to be a factor. And so when I started that job for that first 1 year temporary position, I started my doctoral degree. I started taking classes in a doctoral degree. And in the end of the interview process, they decided to offer me the job. And one of the conditions of me remaining at that job was to complete my doctoral degree. And I really liked my job. So I was kind of motivated to get my doctoral degree. I went ahead and did that. And took me a long time because I worked at it very slowly, but consistently. And I finally accomplished that. And it's been a great blessing in my life.
Thank you for sharing. And my sister will ask you the next question.
Hi, my next question for you is, why do you enjoy helping youth with their education?
So the thing that excites me the most about seeing education or seeing people grow in their education is the success that they achieve later on. I've been teaching for almost 25 years now. I started teaching at the high school level and I've gone on to the university level, but I still keep in touch with many of those students of mine from my high school teaching days. And they're now, in fact, this year, my first class of high school students turned 40 years old. And I know that seems really old to you, you girls, 40 years old. But they're younger than me, so it still seems really young to me. But at 40 years old, many of them are married, they're starting their families, they're well into their careers, And I am so excited to see the kinds of things that they have gone on to do and achieve. And I know that I played at least a small part in that journey. And that's what's so fulfilling to me. That's what's so exciting, is to know that I did something, no matter how small it was, I did something to help them to be a success. And many of those students will tell you that I did a great deal for them. I think it depends on the student and how they connected with their various teachers, but that's what excites me. That's why I love education.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. And do you get to teach different like diversities of like ethnicities when you taught?
I do. I currently teach at Kansas State University, and the state of Kansas does not have high levels of diversity, but at the university we really work hard to bring in diverse students. And I've had many students from many different backgrounds, and I've even had some Polynesian students, and I love connecting with the Polynesian people. And I think as we talk about diversity, that we need to also think about more than just racial diversity, and certainly more than the way we look, whether we're white or brown or black or whatever color we are on the outside. There's so much that goes into who we are as an individual. I look like a Palangi, and I guess I am a Palangi. But I'm not your average Palangi. My father was an immigrant to the United States, and he has a very rich cultural heritage that most people don't know about, because I look like any other Palangi, and they just assume that I'm a regular Palangi guy. But I love sharing with people my cultural heritage. And I think that's similar to what you girls can do, and what many of your friends can do, is you have a rich cultural heritage. Be proud of that and share it, and let people know about that. And I kind of strayed from your question a little bit. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for sharing again, Dr. Halaki. And my sister will ask you the next question.
Okay.
My question for you is, what are some of the what are some of the challenges from your perspective that youth face today in high school and college?
That youth face today, I think they face a lot of challenges, and I probably don't understand all of them, just simply because I'm older, and I'm not living the same life that our youth today are living. But from my perspective, some of the things that I see are particularly challenging, especially as you go on and start looking beyond high school, is first of all, the number of choices that are out there. There are so many choices about what career you might want to have, what kind of training and education you might want to pursue. In high school and before that, we kind of get our education dictated to us, right? We're told we have to go to English class, we have to go to math class, we have to go to science class, all these different classes. And as we go into, we leave high school behind and we go into higher education. There's some of that, but there's a lot more choices that we can make on how we focus our education. So I think that's one thing that makes it really challenging for youth today, is there are so many different choices. And the second thing that I think is a real challenge is very similar to that. Along with those choices, I think you see the expectation, or many students feel that there's an expectation that you have to choose specifically exactly the right career path. And one of the things that we know about careers today is students that are just entering elementary school, first, second, third grades, those students will end up working in careers that don't even exist today. They'll have jobs that we don't even know what they are. And that's something about the working world is jobs are always evolving and creating. And so don't feel like as you make those choices about your higher education that you have to know exactly what you're going to do for the rest of your life. I think the greatest thing you can do there is, again, going back to our earlier conversation about building that foundation, build some foundational skills that will help you in a career path, but always be willing to adapt and make some changes in your career so that you can accept the new changes that come along, whether it be technology or new practices or just new knowledge that exists. Come back to those basic core skills that you can adapt into a variety of different ways.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. When you were like a youth, did you know you were gonna have something to do with education?
I didn't. In fact, I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. My father was a university professor. He was as I told you earlier, he was an immigrant to the United States and came from a very disadvantaged background, but came to the United States and pursued his education as a university professor. And as I grew up in that environment, I was often at the university visiting my dad in his office and so forth. I said, I don't like this. I am not going to follow in my father's footsteps. I'm going to do something different. And I started that way. I did something different. And then the opportunity presented itself to me to become a teacher. And I started teaching, as I said, in a high school, and I discovered that I really enjoyed it. And there's something special about being a teacher and being able to impact the lives of young people. And so I always tell people that I got to be a teacher by accident, but I really enjoy it, and I've had a great career.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. And my next question is, what inspired you to be what you are today?
Oh, that is a hard question, because part of it is I think I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So I haven't finished my journey, but I've always had a drive to be something better, to do something better. Any environment that I'm in, whether it's a job or a service opportunity or anything else, I always try to leave that situation better than when I found it. And I'm not sure where that drive came from. But in terms of being an educator, I grew up in a family where, as I said, my father was a university professor. My mother was also very supportive of education. And so I think that played a role in it. I remember my father telling me when I finished my doctoral degree, he told me he was proud of me. And that really touched me. My father didn't express emotions very much. And when he told me that he was proud of me, that was really fulfilling to me and helped me continue to pursue, helped me continue to want to be better even in my career.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. A question that Dr. Afapalu wanted me to ask you is about eating feke.
About eating feke. Oh, he has great stories to tell about me about eating feke. I love feke, and I miss it. I'd love to sit down with Dr. Afapalu and eat some feke together. Ask him the story about one time when we ate feke together on Weha Island, and I'll let him tell that story. But I love feke.
Do you like eating Tongan food?
I do like eating Tongan food. It's been a while since I've had some, but I've recently moved back to Utah where there's a lot more Tongan food to be able to get. And so I'm looking forward to eating more Tongan food.
That's awesome. And how did you meet Dr. Afopalu?
I met Dr. Afapalo as a missionary. I served as a missionary in the Tongan Islands, and he and I were assigned to be companions on the island of Weha in Ha'apai. And we served together for about 3 months and built the foundation for a great friendship. And we have been able to keep in touch over the years and strengthen that friendship. But that's how we met in that little teeny island out in the ocean.
That's awesome. And do you know a lot of Tongan?
Do I know a lot of Tongan?
Like Tongan words?
In my head, I do. I think I do. But it's been a long time since I've had a good Tongan conversation. So I probably am pretty rusty and I might say some wrong words. But I try to talk to myself in my head in Tongan, and I understand everything I tell myself.
That's awesome. And my sister will ask you the next question.
Okay.
The next question is, what are some things you see Polynesian community face? What are some things that you see the Polynesian community facing, problems they're facing in education?
Okay, a great question. So I see some really difficult things that Polynesians face sometimes for no fault of their own. But one of the things that I see is that as Polynesians come from the islands and they come to the United States or to other countries, Australia, whatever, life in the islands is pretty easy and it's very comfortable. And there's a lot of things that you don't have to worry about financially. There's not a lot of money there, but it's okay because you always have food and you always have a home. When you come to a country like the United States, there's a lot of things that aren't expected. With your home, you have to have insurance on your home. And then you have to have a vehicle to be able to travel. And you have to have insurance with that. And there's all these other little things that you have to pay for that you don't expect. And so many times, both parents have to go to work in order to make ends meet. And I think that makes it really hard because when kids come home from school, many times they don't have a parent at home. And excuse me a minute. And when you don't have a parent at home, when you come home from school, when you're very young, any child they won't want to do the hard things, right? They won't want to do their homework. They'd rather play with their friends or whatever. And so you don't learn the discipline always that you need to have to be as successful in school. So I think that's one thing that Tongan youth and Polynesian youth sometimes face. Hopefully that's getting better and better as more Polynesians are coming to countries like the US and learning, and they pass the word along, right, to their brothers and sisters and other people that haven't come yet. And they say, hey, look out for this and be prepared for that. But the other thing that I think Polynesian youth face when they look to go to college, this is something that's very frustrating to me, is the way that Polynesians are categorized for things like financial aid and specifically scholarships. because they're categorized with students from Asia, students from China, Japan, and some of those countries that have a lot of resources, a lot more resources than the Polynesian countries have. And so it's more challenging to get some of those scholarships and financial aid, because the checkbox says you're the same as a student from China, and you're not. You're different from them. And in many cases, you don't have the same resources available to you as those students from China. And so sometimes you might get passed over or looked over for things like scholarships to help with finances for college. And I would like to see the government's categorizing of students differently, so that the Polynesian students stand out as a separate group, because there's so much that's different about the culture and about your background.
Thank you, Dr. Halaki. That was our last question. And we just wanted to say thank you for all your answers and advice and for sharing with us today. And and we want to say Ofa Atu from the Pome'e sisters.
Ofa atu, malo alpito.
Malo, thank you for letting us have you today.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We just want to say thank you to Dr. Halaki for joining our program today. And also thank you to Dr. Afopalu for letting us interview Dr. Halaki today. And we will be playing a song dedicated for Dr. Halaki. And yeah.
This is the remix.
Oh, sorry.
Nepito no fai homalele ngaku o fanongo hetala mahea tane kolosi ai ekue ta e hautu.
Thank you, Dr. Afobalu, for joining our program today. Ofa Atu, and we hope you have a great weekend. And also thank you to Alele for joining our program. We hope you have a great weekend in Ofa Atu. And also to Mary Melelatu, thank you for joining our program and Ofa Thank you, Guy. Thank you for joining our program, Ofa Atu, and we hope you have a great weekend. Hi, Grandma Kina and Auntie Lo. Thank you for joining our program and Ofa Atu. Thank you guys for joining our program today. And thank you to Dr. Halaki for letting us interview him today. And also thank you to Dr. Afopalu for bringing Dr. Halaki to our program. And we hope all of you guys have a great weekend. And Fa'atu from the Pome'e Sisters. Bye.
Na e hamosi su a e lotu lele pea oku katotonu ki he la mani e si hova fi o mai ki he lotu oku fai he koma mani oku lahi ho no fai ngata a okuma falala tukia si ho basata koko ho kufe uma bohoma ngahi bye bye ko e tokilo tu oku amalahi ki he kaka